one of the strongest mental frames that has carried me through my hardest times is knowing that one day, this will be the story I tell. The harder the challenge, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story. And by consequence, the more epic the hero. And winners define themselves by what they make happen. Losers define themselves by what happens to them. The toughest part of the journey is that in movies, the struggle lasts 90 seconds. In reality, it can last 5 years. But the more time you spend alone, the more you'll understand who you really are, not influenced by friends, trends, or external pressures. When I talk about understanding yourself, I mean discovering who you are without interference. No outside noise, no peer pressure, just you. In those moments of solitude, things become clear. You start making decisions not based on what someone said or what you saw that day, but based on your own internal compass. I went through it alone. There was no trophy, no applause, no one to lift me up. The reward is in my mind, proof that I endured, that I built myself. No one paid my bills. No one ran my miles. No one carried my suffering. I did. And in that suffering, I became who I am, a highly competitive, driven individual. When you put yourself in difficult situations, you unlock a superpower, learning to be alone and enjoying it. These moments of solitude are rare today, but they're critical. It's in those moments that you figure out what you actually believe, not what you've been told to believe. There's a point in every journey where you outgrow your old life, but haven't fully stepped into your new one. You no longer fit with your old friends, but you haven't yet found your new circle. That's when doubt creeps in. Should you go back? Should you blend in again? The pressure is real friends mocking your new habits, questioning your choices, making you feel like an outsider. That lonely middle ground is something almost everyone who transforms their life goes through. I faced it. Alone in the gym, alone in the mirror, alone in my mind. No one handed me anything. I fought for it, worked for it, and I'll never let anyone take that from me. There's a process to all of this, and it starts with shutting off the distractions. Step into the dark, embrace the struggle, and find out who you really are. I call it the dark room, that place where you're alone, no phone, no music, no distractions, just silence. Most people avoid it because being alone forces them to face themselves. We crave noise, conversation, and constant stimulation, but it's okay to be alone. It's okay to sit in the discomfort, to feel unhappy sometimes. Very few people truly want to be alone anymore. They need the background noise, the validation, the presence of others. But when you strip all that away, when you shut life off for a while, you give yourself a chance to think. Really think. Go to that dark space, dig deep, and ask yourself, who am I? What do I actually want? The truth isn't always easy to face. It might take months, even years, to figure out your purpose. But that's because most people never give themselves real, uninterrupted time to reflect. The world is too loud. There's no hack, no shortcut. You can't find yourself by comparing your life to everyone else's. The only race is the one against yourself. That's something I had to learn. This isn't about anyone else. It's me versus me. Once you silence the noise, you start to grow. The one companion you'll always have is yourself. And the first thing you need to do is learn how to be comfortable with that. It's not ideal, but it's necessary. Too often, people settle for the wrong companions just to avoid being alone. But that's because they haven't learned to be their own best company. If you want to create anything meaningful in life, even if it's with others, you have to be willing to walk alone first, to forge ahead without a safety net, to take the long walks, to sit in the silence, to return later with new wisdom or simply a new energy. This is the hardest part. Every obstacle, every hardship, reframe it. See it as the story you will one day talk about, the person you became because of it. Every challenge is a chance for growth. Everything serves you. If something good happens, great. If something bad happens, it becomes another chapter in your story. Proof that you made it through. And if you make it through this, everything else gets easier. It's not that the challenges stop coming, they get bigger. But so do you. You become stronger, better equipped, and over time, you build an army. Supporters, allies, people who believe in you. But at the start, it's just you, standing alone, holding nothing but a stick against a bear. And that first fight, that first battle in the dark, that's the hardest one you'll ever fight. At the start, the hardest part is realizing how little you have. No resources, no leverage. Just time, and even that feels like it's slipping away. You don't have the money to pay for help. No one else can learn for you. No one else can work out for you. No one can do the reps, read the books, or put in the hours. It's all on you. That's why the beginning feels so painful. You look around, searching for someone to step in to lighten the load, to guide you. And every time you realize it's just you, again. And that realization hits hard. You know the truth. You know the darkness, the demons, the struggle. And when you remember that, you remind yourself, I was there. I fought through it alone. No one carried the weight for you. No one picked up the rucksack, rowed the boat, or dragged the log. It was you. And people search for validation, for that pat on the back. But you don't need it. Because the real work, the hardest work, is the unseen work. When things get tough, when the struggle resurfaces, you remind yourself, there was no team, no cheerleaders, no one to wake you up and tell you to keep going. No program, no shortcuts, no one feeding you belief. You built that belief yourself from nothing, from rock bottom.